Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Tim, and welcome to the behind the scenes for my Guitar Hero map. If you haven't seen the original video for this, that'll be linked in the description, as well as a place to download this map and the resource pack necessary for the map. Yeah, so now I'm going to go into the redstone. I'm not a real genius with redstone, so there's probably a ton of stuff that could be improved. So if you have any feedback, please let me know how this could be maybe made more efficient or whatever. Yeah, so let's get into it. I guess we'll start with how the falling sand entities are spawned. So basically, it starts right here with this jukebox, and you basically put a record in, and then it's going to turn on this comparator, and it's going to set a redstone repeater at a certain point, and that point is going to be way over here. So it's going to set this redstone repeater every time. And that's going to basically go through this chain of command blocks that's going to spawn falling sand entities up at the top of those 5 columns. And they're going to be retextured as different color wool blocks. So those are your notes. And these I basically went through, and this actually took a while. I went through and timed out each individual note and how much of a break there should be in between them. So like this is yellow, this is in the middle, then after after 8, 12, 16, 17 ticks, I guess, you're gonna spawn that's a blue one, and so on. I did this all the way through, so that's how the notes are actually spawned, or summoned, I guess. So now if I go over here, that was how they're summoned, and this is how the player interacts with them. So basically, you saw these pressure plates here, and these pressure plates lead to redstone underneath. Whoops, fell there. So let's use green, for example. So you step on the pressure plate up here, and it triggers this redstone down here, and then this redstone is going to go to a pulse limiter. Basically going to set this for half a second. It's going to last for half a second. And what this pulse limiter does is when you step on the pressure plate, it's going to power this torch for half a second, and then power this repeater for half a second, and then it's going to, for that half second, this command block is going to be activated. And this is going to set a stone slab over here, right here. It's going to be like right around here-ish. So the stone slab, obviously, since it's a falling sand entity, when the sand entity lands on the stone slab, it's going to break. It's not going to go anywhere. So that, like, basically, instead of counting how many notes you got right, I'm counting how many you got wrong by how many you missed. So the whole idea is that you're trying to time it so that the stone slab breaks the falling sand entity as it's falling through the air, and you have like a half a second sort of margin of error to do that, and then it resets and replaces that stone slab with air. So it took me a little while to figure out. At first I was trying to use pistons, and that was before the set block command came out, and then I changed to the set block, which is a lot easier. It took a little bit of timing to get right. But yeah, that's how it basically detects if you hit the note or not. Yeah. Okay, so basically, if you don't hit the note, the wool is going to fall down here and sort of settle in stacks down here. One stack here, one stack here, one stack here, and so on. And then after the game's over, my way of determining how well you did is based on how many wool you missed, so how many are left down there. And that's what this giant mess of command blocks is for. So after it ends, after it goes through all the note blocks here, it's going to send a pulse. It's going to send redstone through this. And each of these is basically testing for a block in every single possible location over there. It's kind of insane. There's actually a few more command blocks than I needed, because I was planning maybe they would be like, I was thinking like maybe people could use this for different types of songs and stuff. It doesn't really work that way now. Also, I should mention these command blocks up here don't actually do anything. They were used. I was thinking that like maybe people could sort of have their own songs and tell the game how many notes there should have been, and then the game could calculate, okay, you missed this many out of this, that means your score is this. But it was a little too complicated to do that, so I kind of ditched that idea. But anyway, yeah, this is detecting whether there are blocks in every single possible location over there. And if there are, it's going to set a score of 1 for the variable score. That's what it's called. My cat is just like completely. What are you doing, man? He's just attacking my feet right now. All right. Anyway, yeah, so it's going to do that for every single location. This took a ton of time to do. I had to go through and basically copy and paste this every single time, but change the coordinate by 1, which took just forever. It was so annoying. So yeah, it's going to do that, I think, up until here, right? And once it gets to here, this redstone repeater thing is going to this basically delays this from activating until all of this is done. So it's going to go through here. After it's done, it's going to say calculating, and it's going to delay on a little more. The calculating doesn't really mean anything. I could just output the score right here, but I like to say it's calculating because why not? So it's gonna send power all through here, and then there's going to be another one of these sort of flip-flop, pulse limiter things, and it's going to set another redstone repeater, and this one just clears it, and that's going to be set up here, nope, down here, right here, and it's going to power this and go through this chain of command blocks. And what this chain of command blocks does is it's going to test for a player with a score of blank. So it's going to test for a player with a score of 0 there, test for a player with a score of 1 there, test for a player with a score of 2, and so on, all the way up to 78, which is the maximum score you can get. Now, it's kind of like, in this, it's kind of like golf. You want a lower score, because this is counting how many there are down there. So you actually want less to be down there, because that's the amount that you missed. I feel like I'm not explaining this very well, but this is how I worked it out in my head. So, yeah, it's going to detect your score, and then it's going to basically output whatever you got. Like you played 97% of the notes correctly if you have a score of 2, which means you only missed 2. That means you played 97% correctly. And yeah, that's basically go through all the options, and then it's going to tell you that you could reset and insert a new record to try again. And that's pretty much it. I'll go over the reset thing real quick. Where is it? Here. The reset is another repeater spawner thing. And that's going to spawn repeater down here. Right here. Wait. No, right here, yeah. And that's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to activate. It's going to set this player's score to 0. So it's going to reset your score of how many you missed. And then since it reset it, it has to recheck all of these. So it's going to recheck all of these to basically unpower all these comparators so it's ready to go again. And then it's also going to set another repeater up here, which is going to activate these TNT. These spawn TNT that have a fuse of like basically nothing. So they explode instantly, and they destroy all the wool that's piled up in there and clear it. So I think that's it. It probably wasn't the best explanation. You can ask questions and stuff. I'll try to answer them as best I can. But yeah, that's my game. That's how I made it. I'm sure there's tons of ways to improve it. So please let me know if you have an improvement that you thought of. So yeah, that's it. Link will be in the description to the original video and the download. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.